Welcome to the show, folks. This is Wrestling Changed My Life. Here we go.
We can endure anything and adapt and pivot and change. Wrestling gave us that ability.
I would say nothing in life has impacted me more than the things wrestling has taught me in terms of self-reflection, resilience.
Toughness. Some guys have it, some guys don't.
Adversity, 100%. How to pick myself up and be a man after I failed.
And everything that has shaped my life and where I'm at today would not be there without the values and basically the lessons I've learned through the sport of wrestling.
For me, wrestling saved my life because it allowed me to focus and channel my energy.
We're fortunate if you wrestle, because if you wrestle, natural talent helps, but it's 5% of the ingredient. It pales in comparison to heart and technique and effort.
It humbled me, taught me humility. Nothing can humble you more than wrestling. I think it's the learning to adapt, right? You learn how to adapt, you learn how to solve problems.
You know, if I look back at my time I spent wrestling, if they gave me one thing more than anything else, it's mental toughness.
Welcome to Wrestling Changed My Life. This is your host, Ryan Warner. Thanks for tuning in, folks. My guest today is Anatoly Beloglazov, absolute stud, three-time world champ, Olympic gold medalist for the former Soviet Union. Rest in peace, Soviet Union. So Anatoly is an incredible, incredible wrestler, and he started wrestling in 68. And by 75, he was a junior world champ, 1975. So he knows how to wrestle. His brother Sergei also knows how to wrestle. He was a 6-time world champ and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. This is an awesome conversation. Fair warning, though, it was recorded last spring, and this is the last of the old interviews that we've done. Also, fair warning, his son does help us translate in different parts of the interview. Before we get into it, Fan of the Week goes to Joey Trezino, great wrestler back in the day, also a fellow competitor and a good friend, and now a listener of the show. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate it. Lastly, this episode is brought to you by WrestlingChangeMyLife.com. Please go to WrestlingChangeMyLife.com if you want to spend the next 2 hours goofing off at work. WrestlingChangeMyLife.com. And without further ado, let's take you to this interview with Anatoly, the Soviet machine Beloglazov. Thanks, folks. And what did you love about it? What brought you to the sport? Because you obviously took to it very well. If you started at age 12, within 8 short years, you were one of the top in the world. So what attracted you to the sport?
We play football very good, and our football coach said, "Hey guys, you got a talent in soccer." Said because our age, same age, guys was very tall, and in soccer they always play. They always play. We're sitting on the bench and wait for give us play for 2 and 5 minutes.
Right.
But we got no chance there. We tried in the wrestling. We got weight classes, and we wrestle the same size guys, and we understand we can do the best here. So
right.
That's why it happened.
Well, and how long after you started until you dreamed about being an Olympic champion? Like, when did the thought of being an Olympic champ first become a reality for you? When did you know you could do it?
First competition we win, and small competition in the city. We won, both of us, and we think we can do something in sport of wrestling. But also, it's very helpful. We practice together at home.
Yeah.
All moves we see in the wrestling room, we come back home and we try just at home, and we invent some new moves because it was interesting.
Yeah.
How we can do that, and we come back to wrestling room. We try this, how we do at home.
Right.
We try this in wrestling room. It was interesting process. That's why we start thinking about technical stuff, and start. We feel we can do much better together than.
So you loved it right away.
Yeah, that's
Did your parents push you to wrestle? And were they
No. Our parents never see ever competition we wrestle ever.
They never watched you?
Never watch it, never.
Wow.
Because our parents was after war they came to our city to work there, and they we live very poor. Then our parents think about we got education, and we become some engineer or somebody, and make some money for living. That's our parents' goal was. But they said, sport not give you anything, so you have to work. Besides the sport, you have to work. You have to do something.
Right.
And that's like it's like mentality was that time.
But so that's interesting, because you went from humble beginnings where your parents' goal for you was to make a living and nothing more, but then you guys had these big dreams. You thought about being an Olympic champion, I'm sure. How did that happen? Where did you start to get this belief that I could be an Olympic champion? Or where did it come from? Was it your coach who said you guys can be Olympic champs, or did you just know deep down inside?
Yeah, we got very good coach. By the way, he now lives in the United States.
Boston, right?
In Boston,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Granit Taropin.
Yeah.
He is very good, motivate us to do wrestling sport. And also, every summer when the school finished, we play soccer. We never been in the camps. We got no money to go there.
Right.
And we've been on the street.
Yeah.
We watching beat the streets. That's what people. That's who we are. That's where we come from.
The streets.
Yes.
Yeah.
We come from the streets.
Yeah.
And when I win my first world junior European championships, and my brother, some newspaper write, some guys, little kids from Kaliningrad win European championships, and my father said, "No, I don't believe in it. Never read newspaper. It's never happened. Don't believe in these European championships. They're not involved in sport, even parents." But Granit said, Taropin said, "Yes, you guys, you got talent. You gotta do that. You got talent. It's like give you, maybe you not become, I remember that, it said, you maybe not ever become Olympic champion, but you become a people who will be doing something very good.
Respectable people.
Yeah. You do something very good, and you, like, now I look back, and all my age guys who give up the wrestling a long time ago, they said, "You guys, we're still friends.
Yeah.
We're still friends. It doesn't matter who they are, but we're still friends, and we play soccer together up to now." And they said, "You guys maybe you guys do much better than we are, but some of them was more talented than we are."
Sure.
And we become European champion, but they said, "Oh, it's very bad. We quit wrestling a long time ago.
Right.
We gotta be in the same team up to now." But it's happened like this.
So you start at 12. You have some success. You and Sergei start practicing at home. I mean, there's a lot of twin wrestlers who are legends, obviously. But then, when did you go? Like, did you have to move somewhere else to train full time? I mean, when you're like 19, 20, when you're in your prime, did you have to go somewhere else to train? Because here in America, there's this thought that the Russians go to these private schools where they don't see their families and they're forced to go. Is that true, or did you love to do it? I mean, what was it like when you were in the thick of it, when you were 20, 21? Were you training at home still, or where were you at that point?
When we come to, когда мы попали в команду national team, junior national team, we had camps, like national camps.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We travel, but not. Я не могу сказать, что мы все время уезжали. Он сказал, что мы все время должны были где-то практиковать, да?
Он спросил, если вот когда тебе было 20-21, ты должен был куда-то поехать тренироваться, или у тебя были условия все-таки в Калининграде, или как это вот?
Нет, мы проводили много времени дома. У нас очень маленький зал был. I make sure I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll translate.
Yeah,
just
I make sure
we're cool.
Yeah. And, у нас было много спарринг-партнеров, но какой-то период, когда мы уже все переросли их, нам надо было куда-то уезжать.
He said that they had a really small gym in Kaliningrad with the coach, and he had very good sparring partners there. Yeah. So he didn't really need to travel a lot.
Level.
He traveled a lot with the national team, the junior national team, and they made them to go to the senior national camps also. It's normal for Russia to be in both teams at the same time. And for those years, mostly it was just national team camps and a lot of work at home with the coach in the gym, because they had good, really training partners. Wow. So After that, of course, when they grew over, you know, and they had
21. We said 21.
Yep.
That's why we live from small town to Kaliningrad. We moved to Kiev.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay,
Because
so that's what the
it's a
transition.
big city.
Yep.
It's lots of place to different partners. So it's a different level of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because we просто переросли, объясни это.
They just overgrew the
Sure.
wrestling gym in
So
Kaliningrad, so they had to move
Our
to
coach,
Kiev.
our coach
Right.
moved to Kiev, and we gotta go with him.
So once you won your first junior world title, you won your first senior world title shortly thereafter. Did you start to think about what it would be like to win a gold medal? Did you think about it a lot before then, or like?
Yeah, I was junior. I win gold medal in the European senior.
Mm-hmm.
I was junior.
Yeah.
That time I can do it because I'm wrestle in the camp with the Olympic and world champions all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel I can do it. I beat them at the camp. I beat them on the training every day. So I becomes more confident in myself. So I can do it. I can win Olympics. In 1976, I'm qualified for Olympic Games. And didn't bring me because I was very young. And they bring another guy who I beat every day. And they said, no, stop, you very young. Because у нас тогда в СССР была очень сильная конкуренция.
At that time in Russia, in 1976, 75, he was a junior, but they had really good competition in his weight class.
In my weight class, maybe 5 guys.
But you were still beating him.
It was beating them,
and
but
we were talking about earlier how, unlike the U.S. and Russia, even if you win the qualification tournament, you're not guaranteed to go to the Olympics. It's a coach's selection, whereas here it's purely the result of the trials, right? It's different over there, right?
Different,
Yeah.
of course. Тогда было 5 человек, которые могли поехать на Олимпиаду и выиграть олимпийский медаль, только в моем весе.
he said in that time when he wrestled, there were like 5 wrestlers
My weight class was 5 guys who can win
From
gold
Russia.
medal from Russia.
All
who
could
got
win.
all
gold
could win,
medals in
had the
Olympic
same
Games.
chance as
Sure.
him and everyone else.
And
So
that's why they didn't bring me. They said, no, you're too young to go there.
Wow.
Я был very upset.
he was very upset. Yeah.
Да, я выиграл у всех, скажи.
He said I beat him all at the
And
camp, and
they even меня сводили на национальные чемпионаты.
yeah, he beat him at the camp, and then they had the national championships, the USSR championships, and
мне сказали, you don't have
they
to
said
wrestle
they told him that you don't have to wrestle, you're number one,
because
and you're
number one on
going.
the team. You're going to Olympic
Yeah,
Games.
and then
bring
obviously
me.
They changed their mind.
they
They
changed their
mind
mind.
на camp.
Yeah, at the camp before the Olympics, like a week before.
Они меня
So
пригласили на meeting, coaching meeting.
they invited him to a
invited me
coaching
to a
meeting.
coaching meeting, and they said, Anatoly, sorry, your time is coming, but you didn't go.
But not now.
Not now.
But no,
next
not
next
now.
Olympics.
What was that feeling like?
I was empty, just empty. I очень хотел поехать.
He said I really wanted to go, but
Я уверен был, что я выиграю.
he said I was really feeling that I could win that Olympic medal in
Но я заслужил
1976.
свое место
He
поехать.
said I deserved that spot on the team.
Yeah.
Они меня сводили от национального
And there
чемпионата.
was no reason.
Сказали, гарантирую.
Yeah, there was no reason, and I was guaranteed. And
Они даже
they told me that I don't have to wrestle at the
Даже
national
не пригласили
championships.
тренера на кемп.
They said that they didn't invite my coach to that last training camp before the Olympics.
Потому что я был уверен, что меня возьмут.
So
how did you? So that's obviously a low point, probably a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
How did you think about quitting, or how did you come back from that?
No, I'm not even thinking about quitting. I think it's like it's happened. So I'm still junior.
Yeah.
I make my dream, make it happen. So I continue practice more. I start work more hard even.
Worked even harder.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sign of a true champion. They come back in the face of adversity, and it pushes them even further. So maybe even that made you better. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So what was one of the biggest questions I have, and probably even Americans have, is what's the biggest difference between the Russian system and the United States system in terms of bringing up athletes and coaching?
I work in many countries, Australia, Japan, everywhere, and it's different schools, different mentality. I cannot push guys in Canada. It's absolutely. When I came to Canada, as coach, it's very different. And I understand in the first day, you cannot push people there. It's too relaxed. I mean, in Russian you cannot push too, but in Russian, if like very simple now in America, if you got a goal, it's if you want to achieve this, it's up to you really.
Mm-hmm.
We got in Russia, we got no facility, we got no support, but we got a goal. And many people like me in Russia, I tell you, Fadzaev, Saitiev, they come from very small cities.
Yeah.
They got no facility, they got nothing, but they got a goal.
They gotta believe. Yeah.
They gotta believe they can make it. Even coaches said sometimes, for example, Saitiev's two brothers, they're both Olympic champions,
right?
If you know. But we got very famous coach Mindiashvili, who prepared Olympic two times Olympic games, Olympic gold medalist Ivan Yerygin.
Sure.
And he saw Saitiev, both Saitiev, and he said, one of them will be Olympic champion. One of them will be nobody because got no ability. You see Saitiev arm?
Yeah.
And he said, my friend coaching Victor Alexeyev, he coaching another brother, Adam Saitiev, Olympic champion. He said, "Oh, you can take this guy. He becomes nobody, but he can be Olympic champion."
When you see him,
he's very, very talented guy.
But so to that point, though, being an Olympic champion in wrestling in the U.S. doesn't happen every year, and sometimes it's sometimes we go no years without it. But Russia, and the old Soviet Republic seem to pump out champions just every year. Why is that? What's the big? What is the? Is it? I know the coaching in Russia. Coaching is a very prestigious position, whereas in the U.S., coaches are assistants sometimes. So do you think it's the coaching? I mean, what's the biggest differences between the training systems and the technique over there?
Я немножко понял первый вопрос. First question. Yeah, it's different system. Let's see, what up to now we see the matches today. It's like you can see the difference right away. Condition, I tell you, first in America, condition first of, second technique, mentality, achieve the goals, like guys called public support and everything. It's much better in USA than in Russia. But in Russia we got why so many champions we got, because in first we got wrestling school. Our coach, he never give us wrestle before we got technique. Let's say.
So you went wrestle live before technique.
Yes, won't wrestle live. Said,
Which is
no.
different than
how you can wrestle? You cannot, let's say example. How you can read if you don't know alphabet?
Right.
That's what I said.
Right.
He said, it's not fun. It's not fun because wrestling is fun.
Right.
Like if you do technique, you throw the guy, very easy, and you said it's technique. It's about technique. If you don't know technique, they kill each other. Blood everywhere. No teeth, but no points. Look at the score, 0-0. It's not fun. It's like it's not fun. That's why always it hurts me when I wrestle guys. 0-0, 1-0. It's like soccer, It's not wrestling. To me, wrestling is like remember old time score was like 15 points. It's the difference. Yeah. Stop the match. Yeah. Now you see the match is 1-0. It's win. I mean, as говорит о том, что not able to do technique.
This says when it's 1-0, 1-1. This says that both wrestlers just are unable to do technique.
That's what
the biggest
the school is.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
That's the difference, because I know we're not saying Russian wrestling school best in the world. Nah, in American very famous champions we got. That's why we know about this. It's just different school. I work in Japan. It's just a different school too.
Yeah.
The only leg
same with Iran.
Same Iran. Only leg attack. Only leg. Just different school. Как сказать, базы, нет базы, вот такой базы, технической базы.
The basic things.
Technical base. You've got technical base. You've got the options,
Sure.
Yeah. No leg, I go up the body. I can do up the body too. So I find a way to win.
Right.
Still, I find a way. That's the wrestling all about.
Got it.
See, that's what difference. It's my point of view.
Okay, no, that makes sense, and it's in line with what I've heard is that the coaches are professional coaches and it's technique first. Whereas over here, I can guarantee you, if a youth wrestler goes into a room, their first week they're going to be wrestling live and they don't know anything,
Exactly.
right? So what about when you were training for the Olympics? How many times a day would you work out? Were you lifting? Were you running? Obviously, you were wrestling. What were the typical workouts in your?
In the morning, we wake up. We're doing like small exercise, running like about 20 minutes. Do technique outside. It's very helpful. You wake up, you're fresh mind. We not wrestle. Do technique, because what technique all about? It's a repeated same move, repeated until you close your eyes. You can do it with this.
I love that.
You wake up in the morning, and you do exactly the same. Well, see, in my coaching experience, I tell you, I came to many countries to coaching, and they do technique like very technique very famous in the world. Let's say farmer's carry. Huh? They do farmer's carry very wrong. Body position, leg position, do the very wrong. I asked guy, listen, who showed you like this? My first coach. He played football. And he knows how to single leg touchdown. And he said to me, I said, listen, it's very difficult to switch, because what's happened when a real match he coming in his mind. What's his mind? I know farmer's carry. Even I teach him like 2 months, same technique. He never tried to do that in a real match, because he said, if I make mistake, I lose the match. So he come back to his single leg touchdown and wrong farmer's carry,
Yeah.
And try to cover himself and pin. I said, why it's happened? Because it's mistake.
Bad repetition.
Bad repetition. My coach said, doing the same, exactly the same what I show you, because it's like you cannot make the same mistake all the time. My coach said, I make the same mistake, but I'm nobody, but I show you. You cannot learn from your mistake. You learn from mistake your friends. That's much better will be for you when you get in the match. That's what try repeat it. Nobody show me the other way to go.
So you only knew proper technique from the start. So
yes,
then you have
it's very important.
Your morning run, your technique outside, and then what would happen after that? What was a typical day after that?
Relax with them, like say it's happened like 30-40 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
And just wake up, doing technique, try to do without partner with a partner, no resistance.
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. It's very good to just to remember.
Yep.
And you come back to practice, you do the same in real match, you finish it, because when you're doing outside, you're not finished, right?
Right.
So you go in the mat, you can finish it, and you see what's going on. So let's just continue work from one practice to another practice to another practice.
So 2 practices a day or 3 practices a day?
3 practices a day.
3 a day. And then
in the camp. In
the night
when we practice at home, when we're going to school, it was very convenient with my brother. We got a partner all the time.
Sure.
So
we
just play a little bit, take a shower, go to school.
Yep.
And in the evening when we come back to the gym, there we never practice together, because
really
we never practice. When we practice, it becomes life. We kill each other. So and my coach said, no, ever, no. It's like
you wouldn't wrestle live?
It's serious, because he tried to finish, it becomes injured.
Yeah.
Each other.
Вы отрабатывали вместе.
Но мы не боролись никогда.
They didn't wrestle live. They trained together. Drilled together all the time. Yeah. But they never wrestled live.
У нас всю жизнь было соревнование, кто быстрее пробежит, кто больше подтянется.
All their life, even now, it's always competition.
Always competition.
Who gets up earlier? Who runs faster? Who does things? Sure. So it's always competition, even now.
We play chess.
Even chess at the airport yesterday.
Nobody want to lose.
That was like a 3-hour. That was like a 3-hour game. So I was just sitting there like, guys, come on, like we're together.
You're sitting there like,
I'm just sitting there like a
winning mentality.
Winning mentality. So that was a long chess game.
Well, it's funny because in America, you describe a wrestling practice. It's a gruesome, It's tired. It's exhausting. What you're describing sounds fun and refreshing. Would you ever go live and really get to that point of exhaustion in Russia?
Yeah, of course. Я понимаю, о чем он говорит. Скажи. Он говорит, что они тренируются, да, пока не устанет, пока не вырубится.
Yeah, he understands that you're saying that in the U.S. you have to train and they train hard.
Да, мы тоже practice very hard, because мы знаем. Я был когда в Спрингс, я видел, когда падают люди, борются до тех пор, пока кто не упадет.
Because when they wrestle, we've been in the U.S., we've seen how U.S. wrestlers train. So obviously, we also know that U.S. guys are in good condition. Sure. So we need to catch up.
That's why we see the matches today. That's why Snyder win. We know that long time ago. And we prepare ourselves. When we wrestle against American guys, we знали, что conditionally мы должны быть.
Yeah, they prepared for the U.S. guys, especially for U.S. guys.
For everybody.
For everyone, yeah.
Well, let's say, because if you want to be that level, that's why Russian guys now go down, because they not pay attention to condition too much. You know, они надеются на техническую школу.
They are always thinking about just their technical school. But now you have to have both technique and functional.
Это много. Сегодня быть на уровне, это надо быть менталити сильный, технически сильный и condition.
Today to be on the top, you have to be physically, strong, mentally strong. You have to be technically strong to be the top wrestler.
If you want to be the number one.
Sure. If you want to be number one.
Because такие атлеты, как Чемиза, как Борос, появляются раз несколько лет. Но если ты хочешь их выиграть, ты должен быть выше.
Athletes like Frank Chamizo, Jordan Burroughs, they come like once every 20 years. So if you want to beat them, you have to be on the top even better.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I love this. And we could talk about this forever. I do want to shift into some rapid fire questions. So quick questions.
Быстрые вопросы можешь задать?
Sure. Yeah. And then we'll wrap things up. So first thing is, what has wrestling taught you about life, and how have you applied that to other areas of your life?
Что тебя жизнь научила, борьба? Что тебя в жизни научила, и как ты это вот в своей жизни не в борьбе пытаешься?
Всему. Вот говорят, даже банально прозвучит. Maybe it sounds like very simple, but wrestling give me everything, because
everything.
Yeah, you never give up. Like simple stuff. Never give up. Я учился, когда, было трудно, not give up. Работал, было трудно. Когда ты работаешь тренером, if you work as a coach, example, if you work as a coach, это many things you cannot do it, because guy, you prepare him, he going in last, like first minute. It's not because you, it's because him.
Right.
But I feel I make mistakes somewhere. I'm looking for where I make mistake and professional. As a coach.
Yeah.
Because, see, that's why I never give up. That's what give me. And я всегда говорил, I always told my guys, not everybody becomes world and Olympic champion, but you become people who can live in any situation. You can decide any situation, give you a lot.
Yeah.
Some guys never show how it's feeling inside, but he go through these things.
Can push through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
Who were some of the competitors that you looked up to? Not who you looked up to, but who you knew you had to beat. Who were the top guys who you were training for in your day?
Когда ты выступал, кто были твои основные соперники и как бы вот какие вот что ты должен был сделать, чтобы их победить?
Okay.
Кто был основные соперники?
Let's say I lose couple of matches at all. I can count. And remember in my head, I remember when, how, and who I lose to.
Right.
Very few people in the world. It's like not because I'm who I am. No, not. I just remember because first my opponent was Takada, Japan guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like best. He was best example for me. But in my weight class. But I got a lot of examples who I learned from. Like Ivan Yerygin, Levan Tidashvili, Vladimir Yumin, Russian people who work very hard. We was very young kids, we watch it. But Takada, to me, was
from Japan.
Best from Japan. Yeah. Was now I can say that in my weight class, like was couple of guys from Kennel Cross, from USA. Yeah, very good. Talented guy. Absolutely. Kendall Cross, absolutely talented.
He was not an
guy.
opponent, but like
Right.
he was.
What about John Smith? Did you
John Smith was different category.
different? Okay, so
Yeah,
Kendall
yeah.
Cross was lighter.
Yeah,
Okay.
my weight class 57 kilo.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I'm finished, but I see that
Yeah.
almost he started wrestle. I'm finished already.
Okay.
But in my weight class, Takada from USA guy, I lost to World Cup. I beat him before, but I
Mills.
lost. Jim Mills,
Yeah.
very good, very talented. Many Russian guys, but I beat him because I prepared for him. You asked me that before.
Yeah.
You got prepared for in a high level. You got prepare for each personal appointment.
Yeah.
Opponent.
Да, ты должен, во-первых, анализировать технику.
You have to analyze all the technique that
skills.
your opponent does.
Yeah, Gene Mills is very, very unique.
Unique.
Very unique.
Yes, unique. That's why you said Chimiza unique, Boros unique, Baumgartner unique, and lots of people who unique. But I say it's not easy. Говорит о том, что люди, они готовятся очень серьезно.
It shows that why these people are unique because
People take wrestling very serious.
Wrestling very serious,
Sure.
and,
Вот
they,
сегодня-
and they prepare for each opponent, not just for a
Вот
competition.
сегодня Снайдер, вот он показывает свои тренировки. Снайдера я сегодня видел тренировки, да, тоже.
Today it's Snyder that prepares also for like the Russian wrestlers, and you can see that online. We watched actually today.
У нас
some of his
у
training
нас много.
sessions. Just
In Russia we got very talented, many very talented wrestlers, but not take that serious.
Yeah, he loves it. Yeah, but some must love it over there, or because here in the U.S. side we think that all the Russians take it very serious, but I guess not so much.
Not so much, not because we don't have like lots of money for it, no promotion really.
Yeah.
Like not you see that Snyder, Baumgartner, Mills, many people got like contracts with commercial people.
Kendall Cross got Adidas
Yeah,
shoes.
but we got nothing in Russia like
Do you
this.
get paid to wrestle in Russia? Like, is it government sponsored or is it club sponsored?
We got club sponsored now. It's coming like very not long time ago.
Yeah.
It's not really supported, sport.
So in the 80s, the government wasn't.
Soccer is big sport, track and field big sport.
Yeah.
But wrestling is not big sport in Russia.
Right.
Really, they not got that support money to run. But we got thousands of people.
Yeah.
Who say I tell you example. Many guys come to my wrestling room and said, "Coach, I got over to do something. I finished university. What I'm gonna do?" My parents said me, "Hey, listen, you gotta go to the work. You gotta make money for living.
Yeah.
So quit wrestling and go." It's happened. It's happened. Some like let's say in Dagestan, they got tradition. The businessmen people who make money now. I said, "Oh, okay, I support you. I support your club." Sponsors.
Yeah.
That's why it's happened recently.
Yeah.
Our time, it's never been there.
Interesting. I didn't
Never
know that.
been there.
Wow.
In Soviet time, never been there. Only people, government give you money for national team, that's you got. That's it. We got no salary, nothing. Just, no.
That's the opposite of what everyone thinks here. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's many people think, they make big money there.
The government sponsor, all that.
Now it's different. Now, like I said, government pay too much attention to Olympic sport. Let's say Putin paid too much attention.
Yeah.
To Olympic sport is make support money to all sports, not only soccer. Now it's better now, much better now.
Well, last question for you: what was your most favorite wrestling? Not favorite memory, but what was like your best tournament where you really felt on? You were in the zone. But what was that tournament?
Какой турнир тебе запомнился, когда ты чувствовал себя просто, превосходно, что ты понимал, что ты в хорошей форме, что ты выиграешь, что ты делаешь все, у тебя все получается. Какой у тебя турнир был такой в жизни?
Я скажу, что я запомнил хорошо один турнир в 1979 году, чемпионат мира чемпионат мира 79 год был Yes, в Америке.
It was a World Championships in 1979
79
in USA,
San Diego.
in San Diego.
San Diego.
Even though you didn't, did you win that year?
He didn't win that.
I've been there. I've been there, but only one from Russian national team. I got no medal at all. No medal.
And that was your
It's
favorite?
like not favorite. I never forget it on my wrestling by life.
Oh, wow.
But my best tournament was 79 when I pinned Takada in World Championships. My first match, I meet Takada and I pin him. And another tournament, I lost to Valentina Erdanov World Championship in Kiev. And 3 weeks later, I win 12-0 in the first match. Opposite 1984, we didn't go to
1984 when they
we didn't go to Olympic Games.
They had a different
another
tournament.
fresh
And
games in Bulgaria, and I meet Erdanov in the first match, and I win 12-0. Superiority.
Yeah.
So it's like never forget this match because Erdanov was very good.
So 79 though in San Diego, you beat Takada in the first round and then you didn't place?
Takada beat me.
Oh, Takada beat you.
Takada beat me, yeah. But I lost to American guy Haynes. And I beat him 27-1 in the Tbilisi tournament.
Yeah, Tbilisi.
Before World Championships. And I lost him in World Championships in San Diego.
Wow. That's
unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yeah.
When I wrestled with him, I said 27-1. I just playing with him and I lost him.
Yeah.
I was prepared, it was very good, but просто не был готов. Overtrained. I was overtrained.
Overtrained.
Yeah.
So I do it. This is my last question because I have a brother and I have to know this. What was it like going through your whole wrestling life with a twin brother next to you and you trained every day together? What did that mean to you, training with Sergei throughout your whole life?
У него тоже есть брат, и он спрашивает, что ли это значит вот так вот тренироваться, жить с братом вот так вот всю жизнь вместе
это очень
с близнецом.
Трудно. Это очень трудно.
It's very difficult.
Я знаю, у нас были брата Джон и Бен Питерсона здесь тоже, в Америке, да. Мы как бы общались раньше все время. И это очень... It's very difficult, because when he wrestled, mentally I wrestled there too. And when we go together, World Championships, on Olympic Games, мы переживаем друг за друга страшно.
When they go to World Championships, Olympic Games, they're always...
двойная нагрузка.
It's like you're under pressure two times because
Yeah.
you're worried about yourself and your brother and the opposite of course.
One thing. Если он проиграл, а мне еще бороться, такое ощущение, что я тоже проиграл.
If he loses and I haven't wrestled and I'm about to wrestle, for me it's like it's very painful because he lost, and for me it's a lot more difficult to wrestle because I'm already thinking about my brother's loss.
And another example, we wrestled World Championships in Canada. We moved to weight classes. Sergei moved to 62 for me. I moved to 57, his weight class. And he told me everything about my opponents, about from each country. Tell me, this guy goes single leg, this guy very good in cross ankle, this guy very good in condition, so be careful. So he tell me everything, all information, and give it to me. And I win that World Championship very easy.
Because he told you how to beat him.
Very easy. I don't know
why. You probably didn't want to cut back down.
Very easy.
You probably wanted to stay up at that weight and not cut the weight down.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, I can empathize with that, having a brother. I know, our parents wouldn't even let us watch each other near the end there because it was so emotional for each of us to watch the other one. So, well, this has been awesome. I've really had a good time. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And all great things must come to an end. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, give us a review, give us a rating, and share this with your friends. It would mean the world to us. Thanks for listening to Wrestling Changed My Life.